What's up, everybody? It's actually Dave, and today I think I want to talk about, I guess, beginners and what they should buy as a first bike. Now, for me personally, I started out on a Harley Sportster 883, and I absolutely hated it. I didn't even test drive the bike. My dad helped me, he co-signed with me so I could get it. But that was probably the second biggest mistake I made with buying a bike. And 2 months later, I'm 6'2", 195 pounds. I was riding a Sportster. So it got very uncomfortable after about 30 minutes of riding. And so about 2 months later, I went to Tallahassee and found a bike I liked. I test drove it, and I couldn't get it because they wouldn't allow me to borrow that much money. I think it was a Desert paint job, 2014-15 Street Bob, and I loved it. I rode it. It was quiet, but I loved it. But then they showed me this bike, which is it's a 2007 crap 2007 Softail Custom, and it only had 960 miles on it, because the guy who had is an old guy who had it, and he got sick and he kept it in the garage. He never rode it. And so he finally, I guess he went and traded it in or just sold it to the Harley shop. So I got it, and right now I've got 6,200 miles. I've had it for, next month will be a year. And, but anyway, that was the biggest mistake I made, was trading that 883 in, because after 2 months, I still owed quite a bit of money on it, and they only gave me $7,700, and I owed 11, I think, or 12. So I have payments on this bike, but I'm basically still paying on the 883, and about $4,000, which is I made a big mistake. So right now I can't sell this bike. I'm not even paying on it yet, so I can't sell it. If I want a new bike, I gotta keep it and let it until I get down to a certain point I can sell it. But so I'm pretty much stuck with this bike unless I win the lottery or something, which probably ain't gonna happen. But anyway, back to the topic. I don't know anything about sport bikes. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But cruisers, people say to start out, even if you never rode a bike before, start on a small bike. But I think if you go take the course and get your license, you're riding a 125 for most places. And when I got my 883, it was small. There was hardly any power as far as get up and go, And I got this one's a 1600 cc bike. Cruisers are a whole lot different than sport bikes. If you're starting out on a sport bike, you don't want to start out on a 1000 cc bike because you'll kill yourself, most likely. But, cruisers, the weight difference is so huge, and they're a lot easier to handle if you gas it. Like if I gas this, I'm not gonna pop a wheelie or something, so it's a lot safer, as far as a beginner starting on a bigger bike. So if you're a small person, then yeah, you should probably start on an 883 or something like that, as far as cruisers go. But if you're my size and you get an 883, you're going to get comfortable with it after about a month, and you're going to end up trading it in, or you're going to want to trade it in. And if you do what I did, that's idiotic. That's pretty stupid. So my suggestion, you know, would be to start out on a bigger cruiser, you know, at least over 1,000 cc. Just don't get a small bike unless you want a small bike. If you want a small bike, that's fine, you know. But I don't suggest it for someone like my size, because you're gonna want to trade it in. You're gonna get uncomfortable. And I probably could have changed the seat or something to make it a little more comfortable, but it still would have been a small. I looked like a big freaking gorilla on there. Honestly. Sport bikes. If I get a sport bike, I probably will get a 1,000cc sport bike, because I'm not gonna be a freaking retard, which I know a lot of people my age are idiots when it comes to getting sport bikes and, you know, racing people. But the road isn't, you can't try and do that on a road. You're gonna kill yourself, get pulled over, or kill somebody else when you go that fast and do wheelies and crap like that. I mean, if you do a wheelie, I want a supermoto so I can do wheelies, but I'm not going to do a wheelie like in traffic like this in a highway road where it could potentially, you know, hurt somebody or risk me getting pulled over and getting put in jail. I wouldn't do it. You know, now if you're starting out on a sport bike, I would probably suggest, I mean, I'm not the right person to be talking to because I've never ridden a sport bike, but what I hear other people say and see on the internet, they say, you know, start out on a 300 or a 500 or something, not a super sport, you know, because a 600 super sport is still probably too much. But I don't know. Well, I want, like I said in my last video, I want either a CBR 1000RR or a BMW S1000RR to, you know, do a track day or something like that, you know, go on an actual track and go, I guess it's fast. I mean, I've never really done a track day, so I guess you can go as fast as you want on there. I mean, as long as you're smart enough to stay in your limit and know, like, what your limits are as far as speed and, you know, turning capabilities. There's a house down here that I want. I think it's that one. I don't know. I like that one. It has a fence around it though. It's like an older house. Let's find it. I think this is it up here. Yep. I think one of my brother's old teachers owns that house, so that's a pretty nice house. Anyway, I'm probably gonna, this is gonna be my last video before I change well, I need to learn how to talk. This is gonna be my last video before I change the tire out, because I don't want to risk it popping or whatever. You're slipping on gravel or something, or even the road, because the tread's almost gone. And I got my tire in already. I just I'm waiting on my tire spoons and the rim protector and the balancing beads. I think that's what they're called. I figured that would be a whole lot cheaper than taking it to somebody and get it changed. I guess I don't know how much people charge for that. I only spent $50 on the equipment, so, and $110 on the tire. So I figured that'd be a little cheaper. But yeah, I'm probably gonna make a video of me changing the tire, because it'll be my first time ever changing a tire on a motorcycle or even on any kind of vehicle. I've never changed a tire before. So it might take longer than it would somebody else who already changed a tire or not, but we'll see how that goes. To my subscribers and just the people who aren't subscribing, like the video, y'all can comment on what topics you would like me to talk about, because I have a hard time coming up with ideas that I guess like other motovloggers haven't already done. I know this topic is probably done a lot, and I just figured I'd get my input on it just because I have a little different thinking of how that goes, especially with cruisers. I mean, sport bikes pretty much the same as everybody. Start on a 300 or 500 or whatever. But cruisers, I have a different perspective on than I guess other people would. And so yeah, just comment on what you'd like me to talk about, and I will do that. Ooh, roadkill. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe. I will catch y'all later.